Well, this morning I was talking to our kids intern here at the church. He's going to be teaching our kids about worship this week. And so we're kind of batting around ideas about what that could look like. And I want to tell you what we came up with here in just a minute, but I thought it was important to note too that that's a great communication tool, communication exercise. Is anytime you have something to communicate, whether you're preaching a sermon, you're speaking between songs, you're going into a meeting, whatever the concept is that you have to communicate, figure out how you would speak about that, how you would teach that to a child. And what you're going to do is you're going to break it down really, really simply. Now, you don't want to talk down to people, but it's great to be able to simplify concepts. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to have a really simple definition of what worship is, and then some scripture to kind of explain that. And so the definition that we used for worship is how we tell Jesus that we love him. That's it. It's how we tell Jesus that we love him. And then the scripture that we're using is Psalm 100. We chose that because you can kind of ask the question, how do we tell Jesus we love him? You can answer it with Psalm 100. It's 5 verses, but there's quite a bit there. Let me read it for you, and then we'll kind of answer that question. It says, shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For the Lord is good, and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. So like I said, we're asking the question, how do we tell Jesus we love him? That's going to be answered through the first 4 verses of Psalm 100. Verse 1, how do we tell Jesus we love him? Well, shout for joy, all the Lord. Okay, or shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Okay, so expressing joy and how happy you are to know Jesus. I think that's the first thing we can tell our kids. Talk about how happy you are to know Jesus. That's worship. Verse 2, worship the Lord with gladness, come before him with joyful songs. So now we can talk about singing. Our kids see us singing. They're in our worship service before they go to the kids ministry, and so we can talk about why we sing. Verse 3 says, know that the Lord is God, it is he who made us, and we are his. We're his people, the sheep of his pasture. And so we can talk about trusting in the Lord and nearness to God right there. Verse 4, how do we tell Jesus that we love him? We enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. We just talk about being thankful, having a heart of thanks. And then verse 5 says, for the Lord is good, his love endures forever, his faithfulness continues through all generations. We just talk about reasons why we love Jesus. You know, he's good, he's loving, he's always with us, things like that. So that's how we're teaching our kids about worship this week. I'd love to know how you guys teach about worship in your churches. Let me know.